I know you told me you voted for President Trump. What, what were you hoping that he would do?
I was hoping he would did something that made sense regarding the economy, made some kind of progress in bettering, the benefits of being a veteran. But I mean, it just seemed like he actually cared about doing what was best for the country. But now it just feels like all about me, Donald Trump, not, the guy out there working in the trenches trying to make ends meet, trying to pay a mortgage, trying to pay the bills. It goes against everything I expected when, I voted for him.
So you're not satisfied with what you see?
No. And it doesn't even have to do with anything about me getting fired. I mean, if I had gotten fired as part of the, government, cutting government spending, I would have been fine with that. I can accept that. But he's not delivering on anything he said he was going to do. So what's your real game plan? It doesn't make sense to me.
It's time to speak up. Well, it appears the joke's on me. It appears I have been the biggest fool alive. You see, before the last couple of days, I knew that there was a segment of MAGA who just hated, who just wanted to burn the world down, and they don't care who they hurt. In the meantime, I knew there was that section, but I really, really thought that most of MAGA just didn't get it. I really thought they just didn't understand. They didn't understand economics because it's complicated. They hadn't studied Project 2025, so they didn't know what was coming. But I really thought when he got in there and started doing the things that hurt so many people, that they would realize, and that they would. But they don't care. Y'all have been telling me this for 2 months, and I kept saying, no, we just have to explain it to them. We just have. Now, I know there are a few, and I thank you guys. You make it worth sticking with this. But over the last couple of days, I have realized that the majority of Republicans do not care how many people are hurt. And they are exactly what Palpatine said. They're the ones he was talking about when he said he could unalive someone in public and they would still vote for him. I thought they just wanted lower egg prices. I thought they were struggling in the economy and it was hard and they wanted their lives to be easier, and they listened to that. And that's why they voted for him. But they don't care. They literally don't care how many other people in this world are hurt. See, the difference is I'm willing to pay more for my eggs. If it means no one in my country goes hungry tonight, I am willing to pay more for my eggs if it means everybody can have an egg. But they really don't care. And I am heartbroken that so many in my country don't care. That so many won't go love their neighbor. But I want to thank those of you who are. You're the ones keeping me going.
This is exactly what happens if you vote out of hate or with so much hatred in your heart, instead of voting with the desire to make your country a better place, to make this world a better place. And this is what exactly MAGA supporters did. They were voting out of hate for other people, out of fear for other people, but most importantly is the hatred they had for other people. And they really believe that Donald Trump had a point when he said that he was going to take over America and deport all the criminals. Which criminals? Criminals are in jails. Criminals are in jails. They're not in American streets. They're not in American hospitals. They're not in American courtrooms. They're not in American farms producing food for American. So they are really regretting and learning the hard way. And it doesn't look like it's going to stop anytime soon, because in the first place, Donald Trump has already damned those MAGA supporters. Let's continue to listen to what they are saying, and we'll be back.
Thought of the day: Joe Biden. And if you voted for him and don't regret it, you too. Today's the day that I turned my truck in. I between the shops and the insurance and everything else that goes with it, the payments, I went broke. Put it mildly, I just went broke. Got to turn my truck in. Love my truck. I tried my best. Today's the worst day of my life.
I don't give up. Is this you? Yeah, that's you.
I said what I said, Joe Biden. Say one good thing about Joe Biden. He'll be dead soon, and then...
May you forever live in this energy that you created for yourself. May you have the day you deserve for the rest of your life.
Somebody, please explain to me, who raised these people? What the fuck is wrong with them?
We are huge Trump supporters. If you didn't get the email on Monday, you're safe. And I'm like skipping down the halls, right? Like, you know, I get to stay. Wednesday, late afternoon, I received a notice that I have an appointment, a Teams appointment with my supervisor on Friday at 9 o'clock. So I knew that I wasn't safe anymore.
You were skipping down the hall. You were so excited when you thought you were safe. You knew others were suffering and gonna suffer, but you knew you were safe. You were cool with it.
Cutting costs and waste and fraud and. We love that big picture. I love that big picture. My friends, you know, we were excited about that because it is true.
I could just picture you and your friends, glasses of cheap fucking wine, just laughing over others and how others are gonna get affected.
The common theme is, you know, we voted for this. You knew this was coming, but we didn't. Like, nobody that I've talked to understood the devastation that having this administration in office would do to our lives, but other people that we love and care about too within the Mid-Ohio
There
Valley.
it is. It's only when you're affected that you actually feel bad about something. You don't have any regrets for everyone else. It's that you got affected. You're despicable. You're disgusting. How does it feel?
It's hard. It's wrecking.
Good.
So this is a message to the MAGA farmers who are losing their farms because of the current administration. This is a message to the MAGA veterans and military who are watching their health care be destroyed and workers be fired and billions of dollars going from quality of life measures for troops to the border. This is a message for the MAGA poor who are watching their Medicare and their Medicaid and Social Security getting ready to get chopped. This is a message for all those people who thought things were going to get better. He doesn't fucking care about you. They don't care about you. The Republican Party doesn't care about you. They needed you for your votes. Some still do. The guy at the top, he doesn't need you anymore. He only needed you to stay out of jail and make billions of dollars from becoming president again. And all the Republican representatives and senators, they just needed you to vote for him so that they could help get that giant tax cut for the oligarchs who fund them. They have never, ever cared about you. There's a part of you deep down that may be starting to realize this, and I hope you do, because your life will get better. All of these people, if you're living in red states and all of the indicators of quality of life continue to fall, wages don't rise, education continues to fail, and you're led by Republican leadership, the GOP, and it has never gotten better, only worse, while the rich inside your state get more and more corrupt and wealthy, this might be your time to do something about it. I'm just saying, maybe it was all a lie. Maybe they never cared about you and they never will. Just think about that.
I know you told me you voted for President Trump. What were you hoping that he would do?
I was hoping he would did something that made sense regarding the economy, made some kind of progress in bettering, you know, the benefits of being a veteran. But I mean, it just seemed like he actually cared about doing what was best for the country, but now it just feels like all about me, Donald Trump, not, you know, the guy out there working in the trenches trying to make ends meet, trying to pay a mortgage, trying to pay the bills. You know, it goes against everything I expected when, you know, I voted for him.
So you're not satisfied with what he said?
No. And it doesn't even have to do with anything about me getting fired. I mean, if I had gotten fired as part of the, you know, government, cutting government spending, I would have been fine with that. I can accept that. But he's not delivering on anything he said he was going to do. So what's your real game plan? You know, it doesn't make sense to me.
There are some things that he promised to do that he has put in place. I mean, there are executive orders that he's done, that he said that he was going to do. You don't feel like he's lived up to those promises?
I mean, where are the results? I mean, seriously, prices are still going up. We're now in the middle of a tariff war with a bunch of countries that used to be our steadfast allies. I mean, how do you make an enemy of Canada? You know, they're right next to us, and they've been one of our premier allies and commerce partners for, I mean, seriously, like what, centuries now?
And he did say that he was going to put tariffs in place. Did you just not think that they would be implemented in this particular way?
I didn't think they were going to be put in play in a juvenile way. I mean, where was the attempt to actually talk to the heads of these other countries like, hey, you know, I feel you have unfair tariffs against our products. I'd like to talk about it first. And if we can't work out some kind of resolution, then I feel to protect our people, we need to implement this kind of tariff. There was no attempt at even talking to the other countries.
Hold on, what did you just say about Trump?
I said, Trump's a fucking liar. Inflation's going up. Gas prices hasn't really come down that much. Eggs, that's the funny one. The eggs. I'm mad. And I'm a MAGA man. Okay? I don't see anything he's done.
So is it safe to say that the illusion has faded?
I think it has, yes. You know, I was for him because, you know, everything he said, you know, he played right into my hands. He just told us everything we wanted to hear. That's what he did. I can't even stand to look at him because, you know, he's just he's a con. He's a flat ass, nothing but a fucking con. You know, they all, the right side, they say, oh yeah, the Biden side was so bad. Well, what's so good about the right side? He brags about doing something with our economy, but I haven't seen anything happen yet. That big beautiful bill is going to add, they say $2.5 trillion. It's going to add about $4 trillion to the debt. The big beautiful bill. Oh, what a joke. Remember what happened in the 80s with trickle-down economics? Yeah, the filthy rich got richer, and us guys that worked for a living paid more taxes.
It's financially as well as emotionally. It takes a toll.
Vincent, you voted for Donald Trump?
Yes, I did.
He thought the Trump administration was going to focus solely on deporting criminals. It seems immigration officials, he says, are just trying to meet quotas now. 6 Nicaraguan men who on May 27th were detained along US 1 in Sugarloaf Key on their way to a job. Their immigration attorney says it should not have happened because 5 of the 6 have their paperwork in order with pending asylum cases. Vincent Scardina is the owner of the roofing company where they worked. He's owned it 37 years.
You become their friends, just not an employer, but a friend. And you see what happens to their family. It's quite a shock.
Given his support for the president, we asked what he would tell the commander-in-chief if he had a chance.
What happened here? This situation is just totally, just blatantly not at all what they said emotionally.
Get those crocodile tears away from me. Stop acting, bro. Stop acting like you didn't know. Come on. Come on. You just didn't think it would happen to you.
It's financially as well as emotionally.
No. You voted for this. We warned you. We told you how bad it would be. And you wouldn't listen, so now live with it.
The Trump admin and ICE are not deporting hardworking illegal immigrants from farms and small businesses.
Well, you're obviously not going to take it from me. We've only been telling you a million fucking times now that yes, he is going after hardworking people, not just criminals. If you're not going to believe me, that's fine. I will give it to you from the horse's fucking mouth. Here you go. A Trump supporter himself, a man who voted for Donald Trump, who owns a business, had his whole fucking crew picked up and taken and deported, even though they were here legally. I'll roll the clip.
You voted for Donald Trump?
Yes, I did. They did everything right. And they all had their work permits. What I understood from what he has said and from what ICE officials have said, that is not at all what they're doing. And then all the representatives of them are stating the same thing. That's not what we're doing. We're going after the criminals. Well, what happened here?
For fuck's sake, even the founder of Latinas for Trump, who worked tirelessly to get Donald Trump elected, came out and said, yo, this is not what I voted for. Granted, I would say that yes, Donald Trump screamed from the rooftops that this was exactly what he was going to do. But many people are waking up to the fact, even his own supporters, to know this man is not just deporting criminals, but rather going after hardworking families, people who are here legally, who are going to their court dates and picking them up and deporting them. And if you don't want to believe me, that's fine. But believe the people who voted for Donald Trump, your own people who are telling you this isn't right.
I love a good FAFO moment, and boy, did this MAGA supporter have one. Vincent Scardina, a small business owner who has a roofing company in Key West, voted for Donald Trump this year. And then on May 27th, ICE swooped in and abducted 6 of his workers, a third of his workforce. He lamented about how difficult it is to hire new people in a small community unlike a big city. He said sometimes it even takes years to train them. He also shared a story of another person in the community who lost 9 out of his 10 landscaping employees, basically putting him out of business. All of the abducted employees of his were from Nicaragua, and they had valid work permits and no criminal records. Scardina even got emotional during the interview, saying that he considers many of these people his friends and has gotten to know their families. Talk about being out of touch with reality. Needless to say, he says he has some buyer's remorse.
MAGA, let this be a lesson to you that you shouldn't let it get this far. It's already gone too fucking far. And here's the thing. You fucking people that are like, oh, I didn't vote for this. The fuck you didn't. You voted for this. You wanted this. But in the Republican world, and as a woman who worked in politics for 22 years, trust me, I fucking know Republican world. In a Republican world, if it doesn't happen to you or people that you love and respect, then it never happened. It's a lie. That's never happened. And that's the fucking problem. Republicans, you need to wake the fuck up. This is happening to people. Before it has to happen to you on a personal fucking level, I need you to wake the fuck up. I need you to see that this is happening outside your world, and that you're going to do something about it. I know it's very scary. It'll be very, very scary, but fucking do something about it. It's pathetic. It's pathetic as fuck. It's 2025. I should not have to talk to American citizens like this. But here I am. Here the fuck I am talking to you guys like this. Do better, be better. And your Sky Daddy's fucking disappointed in you.
See, racism is very expensive, and the hate is also very, very expensive. Because now, look, the people that are losing the most are actually the people that voted for Donald Trump. The small businesses, the small white run businesses, the small white farmers who really thought Donald Trump cared about them. But Donald Trump did not care about them. What Donald Trump cares is, because he's just a narcissistic racist, is himself, his inner circle of billionaires, and that is all. All of you white Republicans or white MAGA supporters who voted for him because you thought he was going to punish other people have just realized that you punished your own selves out of hate. And this is pure hate. Because you can tell me that everybody else in especially the black community knew that this was a wrong move. It's only all of you white MAGA supporters who didn't know that this was a mistake. How did everybody else have the wisdom to know that it was a mistake to re-elect Donald Trump? Because it's not that this is the first time you're encountering him, and it's not that in the first season he was hiding who he really was. He really was showing himself out to the world. But this is what happened, and this is why they ended up re-voting for him or voting for him again, is because of the hatred that they saw in him towards people of color and people from other places and other nations, and building that wall. So they knew this person very well. They knew he is a racist. They knew how he thinks, and they just agree with all those policies because they themselves are exactly that way. I mean, Donald Trump is a reflection of themselves in another way. So they voted for him again so he could continue with his wall, so that the brown people from Mexico and Central America would not be coming to America, so they can have America to themselves, as if America belongs to the white MAGA supporters. And again, that he was going to deport criminals. How do you call people criminals who are running your economy, running your country, people that are helping to bring food to the table for Americans, people that are treating American patients, people that are working in American farms and in American companies, people that are paying taxes, people that are serving you, and you dare call themselves, and you dare call them criminals? It's only out of hate that you do that to people that are doing that much to the American economy. Look at what he did when he moved to office. First of all, gutted all federal fundings that was in form of aids and grants to overseas, which technically we always say in this politically charged world is they're not just free grants. They're not just grants. They're actually securing American interest in the countries in which they're receiving the aid. And so he cut that. And when you cut that, the countries from whom they have been benefiting from those grants don't see the need to co-work with America. That is one step backwards for America that is aiming at, trying to take over the world again. With the rise of other superpowers like China and Russia, people now have other options from whom they can do businesses with. So when you come here and cut ties, see, look at what China is doing in Africa. A lot of work, a lot of infrastructure, and a lot of grants, and a lot of, soft interest, almost interest-free loans. And you think those are just free grants. You think those are just that is just China's generosity to Africa. No. If you really understand how the geopolitical landscape works, is that China is really securing Africa for itself. Russia is really securing Africa for their own interest. By the way, nobody is out here to help you for free. So when China is actually doing all this, is because they know then that they can just create better relationships with different African countries, different countries in Europe, different countries in the Americas, in the Caribbeans, and so their interest, then they can have their interest, first. And when a thoughtless policy by Donald Trump is to isolate America, isolationism, and cut those grants that are securing your interest abroad, is what you really think is a move to make America great again, then you're just taking America, far backwards. And another thing he did, and then which is really out of hate, is he decided that America was not going to take in any more asylum seekers. And that is even against the Constitution of America, which allows for, the country to take a good number of asylum seekers on a yearly basis. But he said he wasn't going to take none. But wait, until he realized that he needed to create some space for some white fake South African refugees, white refugees, and because they are like him, they are of his skin tone, and he could have an exemption. He really called off America taking any refugees until or unless they were white, like those white South Afrikaners, who then, he even not just gave them asylum, but expedited the process against all odds. And remember, those were even fake refugees, because they and his brother Elon Musk, before they fell out, they had fabricated a story that there was a white genocide in South Africa, so that they can create the tension and get a reason to why they needed to get white people to America. Again, and while we know that that was false, there are so many people around the world, from other places in Africa, other places in Asia, for example, and in many countries in Central America, that actually are facing persecution, political persecution, religious persecutions, and any other that legitimately deserve the asylum status in the United States of America. But he decided not to take those people who genuinely claim to seek asylum, and take people, privileged white people who just don't love what South Africa was doing, which was a move of equity, because they didn't want justice in South Africa. They didn't want to be treated like all other South Africans. And nothing, if that doesn't spell hate itself, then nothing else spells hate. So, for me and for many people, Donald Trump is just a reflection of who MAGA supporters are themselves. Because the whole world, even people outside of America, knew who Donald Trump is. It's not his first time to the presidency. It's not his first time in the White House. But you went ahead to vote, to rally behind him, and send him to the White House. And now you're out here crying how you're running bankrupt. There's labor shortages. They are not tax exempt unless you are a multi-billionaire like Donald Trump and his friends. And, but that is exactly what happens if you vote against your own interest, or if you vote out of hate. So it's karma, and it was always going to catch up with them. They didn't even think it was going to be this fast, but it has already shown up, and the consequences are going to be felt hard, because Donald Trump in himself doesn't care about them anymore in the first place. So let's wait and see. and just watch and continue reminding them that they put themselves in that position, and they put all other American people who don't deserve to be in that position there. So I love the fact that all other people in America are continuously reminding them and haunting them with the truth, telling them, yeah, you're the ones who did this, and you deserve what you are having right now. Yeah. So that is that for now. If you have anything to say, do share with me in the comment section below. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and share it as well. And if you're new to the channel, welcome, and I appreciate you popping up and watching the video this long. And I hope to see you in the next video, so please go ahead and hit that subscribe button to be part of us. So until next time, peace out.